Welcome, everybody, to the Caleb Kent Podcast, Episode 5. And this is going to be more of a personal one. So, my last episodes have not really been personal, per se. I guess a little bit personal, because I share some of my personal experiences with these life lessons that I'm teaching in those episodes. This isn't like an advice thing. This is just a personal one. And I just got to share it, because I feel like I have to. And also, I'll be releasing a version of this on TikTok, because it's probably about to get banned, so might as well. I haven't really made a lot of videos on my TikTok account anyway, so might as well go out of the bank with releasing a version of this for that app. On this episode, it's God's talking to me. Now, this is hard to explain, because this is something I tried Googling, and there's not any way I can Google this or ask questions about this. I've asked some of my friends, I've asked some of my cousins about, what is this? What type of phenomenon is this? And I tried Googling it, and there wasn't really a lot of answers or ideas with it, because it's complicated. It's something I can't really explain what it is, but it's just a sixth sense that I have with it. It's crazy. And the way I can just feel is because a lot's been going on in my life right now, and everything just feels like it's all being perfectly synchronized and timed perfectly. For example, there's just a bunch of things going on in my life right now. A bunch of stuff I won't share because, it's probably not everyone's business to know on the internet, just because personal stuff. I think that's pretty normal. It's just a lot of perfect coincidences, if we'll call it that. A lot of perfect coincidences. And there's too many of them that they can just be dismissed as a coincidence. Because when there's so many things that are coincidences and they just keep happening, like at this point, how could they even be a coincidence at this point? It doesn't make any sense to me. Some of these I can't share because, again, it's personal and it's not something I want to share with the world, or at least not right now, just for privacy reasons. But here are a few things that I noticed in the past week that I want to share with you. For example, I was driving home the other day in the midst of all this going on in my life right now, and I was listening to the song Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. During that drive, while I was listening to the song, the background with the trees and the grass and the street and the sky perfectly correlated to the album cover for that song. Now, you might be thinking that's kind of a stretch or just a coincidence, like you're probably thinking, but what's weird is that not too long ago, right before, during that song in the beginning, I noticed an Iowa license plate on a car in front of me, and it was blue, white, and then green on the bottom. Like a perfect resemblance to that album cover. It was crazy. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's a bit deep. You're probably thinking a bit deep. Okay, well, how about this? Yesterday, as of when I'm filming this video, I was at Epcot because I go to Disney World a lot, and I make a lot of videos about it. I'll talk about what I do later, but I was walking over for an attraction. I believe it was a Ratatouille adventure. It might have been something else. I don't know. But I was walking over, and I was listening in my earbuds. I was listening to the song Outlook by Morgan Wallen. And during the part where he says, "Always believe in God and angels in the sky," during that part, I literally look up, and it was cloudy. But there's one spot that didn't have as much cloud in it. And in that very spot, where there was not as much cloud in it, the sun was there. I had sunglasses on, so I didn't go blind or anything, but the sun was right there in that spot, that little spot that didn't have as much cloud in it. It really felt like God was watching me through that part, because, we all associate the sun and the sky with the heavens, or not. It literally felt like a light was being shined onto me, saying hey, you're listening to the song and it's perfectly correlating to what the lyrics are right now with that moment. I'm just like, oh my goodness, it really does feel like there's a higher power watching me right now, and it's looking out for me, just like the song. There's a lot about what that song's about. It's about Morgan Wallen, talking about how his outlook on life has changed, but it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. My last video was the review about Disney's Wilderness Lodge, and I talk about in that video about how it's very reminiscent of Lake Tahoe, which is where I grew up going to the most vacations with when I was growing up. And there were so many things that just keep on getting brought up while I was editing that video. Like when I was subconsciously, I kept on like wearing shirts that said Lake Tahoe on it, or, you know, things kept on coming up about, it reminded me of Lake Tahoe, or like the other day when I brought a cup to work and it said Lake Tahoe on it. But I'm like, obviously, like, you know, I see what I'd pick and I choose it out, but I didn't subconsciously realize in that moment that it was about Lake Tahoe in the moment. Like, it was like perfectly correlated. Now, of course, you might be thinking that's a bit deep. Well, how about this? I keep seeing the numbers, like the timestamps 11:09, whether that's PM or AM, I keep seeing that number, which is rather weird considering the fact that my birthday is November 9th. So 11/9, like, it makes total sense. And actually, that past week, actually, I had gone to Universal Studios. It was Islands of Adventure and Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. I was like walking over to be like, okay, I gotta go around because I want to go on Velocicoaster, but that quicker pathway has been blocked off. So what I do is I take the path through Hogwarts that leads to it, if you can go that route. And I was just like, okay, I'll just go around that route just because if Hagrid's opens up, then I'll go on it. And lo and behold, like as soon as I arrived there, like it just opens up. So I quickly put my stuff in a locker and then get in line. And the minute I check my phone for what time it is, by the time I get in line, it was 11:09. So it kind of felt like God was like, I got you. Now, you might be thinking that's a bit deep. Okay, how about this? 9/11, the time 9/11 that is, whether it's AM or PM, I keep, like, this is a timestamp I keep seeing everywhere for the past years or something, but now it's like I'm really starting to see it everywhere. So according to Google, the angel number 911 relates to untapped potential, as your spirit guides want you to know that you have the power within you to reach any heights that you set. It also means a divine presence is waiting in the wings and that you are on the path to the perfect opportunity. And there's a lot of other stuff that it means in the Bible that's really good. I'm just saying, I've seen this in the past a lot, but now I'm really starting to see it everywhere, and it doesn't seem like it's any coincidence anymore, is it? Number 7. For some reason, I am seeing the number 7 just correlated with everything that's perfect right now. Like, whether it's like 7 letters in a word that's like perfectly correlated with what I'm thinking about, or if it's just, like, it's crazy. Even if it's just like 1-7, because the thing is, I keep seeing like 1-7, like the number, like the timestamp 1-7. I mean, it's funny because I keep getting assigned that number, whether it's for a row on a ride or if it's for a certain thing that comes up. Like, either way, it's just the number 7 just keeps popping up randomly, that is. And in the Bible, it turns out it's supposed to mean a sense of fulfillment or completeness, which, like, it's all being like perfectly correlated. Now, this one might be a bit far-fetched. Who cares? Well, how about this? Like I said earlier, many things are happening in my life at once right now. Like some of my friends' lives, they're moving on right now. There's just been a bunch of drama with work, I guess. Or right now in the midst of all like the craziness regarding TikTok and the ban, I guess. So I guess that perfectly correlates with it all. And just a bunch of other stuff that's going on. Like, it just seems like every big thing is just being packed in all at once right now. I'm doing fine, but everything's being packed in right now in just this one moment or this period of time, and I'm just like, what is going on? I'm not freaking out, but it's just like, what's going on? This isn't normal, and I'm sensing it. There's something I'm sensing. I can't really explain it. It's just all crazy right now. And on top of this, there's just been a lot of tests with my character, I believe. Like whenever like small inconveniences or big mishaps happen, like, I guess during this time, I'm kind of just looking at it as like, okay, well, you know, everything's all happening at once, and then this happens. So I'm just like, okay, you know, whatever, just move on. Or I'm just like, okay, you know, don't be like, ugh, don't grunt, don't do this, don't do that, don't act that way. Just push through and just do the task. You'll be okay. Like, for example, we recently I had to complete a safety form on training for work. I could have easily just not read the whole thing and just look at the answers, write them in, but I decided, no, I'm going to thoroughly read everything and then actually do the test and not look at the answers, and then until at the end when I go back and correct them. Like, I could have easily just faked it, but I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that, because that's cheating, and frankly, that's not how God wants me to go on with life. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of tests with character, or if there's something where, like, you know, I could easily, you know, get away with something, even if it's not a big deal, but I'm just like, no, that in my heart is telling me My heart would never let me go of that, because I'm just like, that's not my character. I like to be as honest as I can, but, you know, I can't, how can I say that if I'm holding on to something like that? Even if it's just something minor. How do I do that? How do I actively, knowingly just cheat or lie about something when I know in my heart, like, no, it's not true? I don't feel comfortable doing that. That's why I like to be open and honest about it. And also, it's just, I feel like with everything that's going on right now, I'm starting to feel more positive about everything. So for those of you that don't know, I grew up in California, and then I moved to Florida when I graduated high school. And during that time, and right after high school, was right when I started making videos for this channel. In fact, actually, one of my very first videos was actually when I documented my journey from California to Florida, where I now live. And let me tell you, you know, it's been hard adjusting here in Florida. The first few months, you know, I was going to all the parks, all the theme parks, you know, and just adjusting to all the cool things that Orlando and Florida just had to offer in general. You know, that was all fun, first few months. But then from mid-September all the way through about March or something, during that period of time, I was really struggling adjusting here. I was longing from home, from where I grew up, and it was just a lot for me to take in, and I had a hard time adjusting. Because I remember the first time that I went back home since I moved there, and it was such a great time because, you know, I went to Lake Tahoe, I saw all my friends, and it was just a really good time. But at the same time, you know, I had never been away from home that long before, so it was just refreshing to go back there. But then the second time I went back home since I moved there, which was in April to May of last year, it was fun, it was refreshing, but it didn't feel like home. Because I think at that point I had fully adjusted to Florida. It was hard for me at first, but I feel like God kind of had to put that pressure on me to kind of keep moving forward and just kind of just I had to like put my trust in Him that, you know, everything was going to be okay. I know you're struggling. I know this doesn't feel like home. I know that this isn't normal for you, but you're going to get through it. And I did. Don't get me wrong. I still love California. I still love where I came from, that is. And I still love everything about it, but I know that deep down in my heart, this is where I need to be. Florida and Orlando, this is where I need to be. This is my home now. Now, of course, I would want this to be my main home, but I also want my home where I grew up in California to be my main home. So until I get to that point, I'm cool here. And I you know, and this all goes back to feeling more positive now, because I keep longing to have the lifestyle that I have. And as I'm speaking this right now, I guess I'm kind of now realizing that, like, especially as I'm making this video, I'm just like, I think I need to be more happy with what I have right now. Because there's a lot of things that I especially think in this society, there's a lot of things that, as people, we're all like, I wish we had this. Wish I had the financial freedom to go out on vacation. And in my mind, I'm just like, you know, I think we all do that to a degree, but I think as I'm speaking this, I need to realize that you are right now, we are, because a lot of times, you know, we question, you know, is this where I'm meant to be right now? Is this have I chosen the right path? Am I going to be okay? And I think through it all, like, I keep on getting messages that, like, you are exactly where you need to be right now. Let me repeat this. You are exactly where you need to be right now. Just take a moment to think about that. All right, done? Sorry, I had to add a little bit of comedic relief, I guess. But yeah, and especially now, like, that I'm speaking about this, it's crazy to think how far I've come as a character since I first started uploading. I have a lot more confidence now than what I did. Like, I don't say as much as I used to. Like, and it was awful back then. It made me look like a complete idiot. But, you know, here I am now, and I definitely look a heck of a lot better. I mean, my hair design, like, when I first started making videos, my hairstyle, that was bad. I don't know why I chose that hairstyle. Sorry, God. I there's not really anything you could have done at the time. I was going through a rough patch, but still. At least now that I've gained to learn some sense of style, I guess. One thing I want to leave off is the number 407. Because, like, as in, like, 407 meaning as the timestamp 407, whether it's PM or AM. Actually, PM, because I don't stay up until 4 a.m., but I keep seeing 407 on the timestamp, and it's just like, it's so perfectly correlated. For example, 407 in the angel number, it means It's a message that a new chapter in your love life is about to happen. So that's one connection. Love. It could also mean finding yourself, looking within yourself. Often there's a bunch of other significance with self-discovery. I don't know which one it is, but yeah. I'm wondering if through all of this, maybe this is God's way of letting me know that, something big's about to change in your life. Whether it's maybe you're now making it with your channel, or if it's finding love, maybe it's both. I don't know. And again, I'm not fully blinding on this if that is the case. But it's just a couple theories I have. It's not confirmed. It's just a couple theories. And, for all we know, our theories, a lot of times they're wrong. And you know what? That's okay. Sometimes we think this way is what's going to happen, and it doesn't. And I think that's totally okay. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to push through, and we're all just trying to become the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And also, I just want to point out, 407, that timestamp that I told you about, that I keep seeing everywhere, that also just happens to be the first 3 numbers of the code area for cell phones here in Orlando. It's all being I don't know what to tell you anymore. There's too many coincidences and perfections that are happening right now. If it was one thing, you could pass this as a coincidence, but right now in my life, I'm seeing so many coincidences that are so perfect with what I'm thinking, with what I can sense is going on, that I'm like, this is not a coincidence. This has all got to be coordinated by a higher power, in this case, God. And I don't know what it is. I guess I'm sharing this at the end of the day is because I know when I say this out loud, a lot of people might think I'm crazy, but it's just, the thing is, I don't think a lot of people are seeing this right now in the way I am. I don't think a lot of people are seeing things the way I am right now. It really feels like I've learned the Matrix, and I'm starting to sense all the stuff that's going on right now. It's a little bit of that, like that. I'm not talking about the dystopian part. That's a whole other category. I'm just saying, remember at the end of the movie The Matrix, where Neo, he learns the Matrix, he sees things and he just decides he can do whatever stuff it is. That's kind of what I'm feeling with, where I'm starting to notice the perfect timings of everything that is being planted. So I'm just saying, I'm sensing all of that right now. And I don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, I just hope that at least one person will watch this and they'll be like, I'm starting to see a bunch of stuff like this too. And if there are people out there that have experienced this, or are experiencing this right now, or have any information about what this phenomenon is, because I tried asking, I tried looking it up, I didn't have much results. So I guess I'm making this video to be like, hey, if you have any suggestions or theories on what this phenomenon is, just let me know. At the end of the day, I don't know what's going on. I'm just hoping that this will be the start of something new for me. And I hope it's going to be good. I'm hoping that it's going to be good, but I can't promise anything. All I can do is theorize. All I got to remind myself in the moment, I guess, is just trust that everything will work out the way it's supposed to. And that as long as I keep believing, as long as I keep being positive, as long as I keep working hard for what I want in life, you'll be on the right path, and everything will work out. And anyone watching at home, believe in that. Believe in that. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Caleb Kent, vlogger, actor, content creator, host of the Caleb Kent podcast, and travel enthusiast. I make a lot of videos at Disney, more specifically Disney World, that is, but I made a lot of hotel reviews, mostly at Disney. There's one about Universal, and there's also another random hotel called the Sonesta in Tempe, Phoenix. Doesn't matter. I make those videos, made a few comedy skits, but that's who I am. If you want to check out my work on that stuff, you're more than welcome to. But at this point, I don't care. Because I'm going to start making content that I know in my heart is good for me. And as long as I put my passion and soul into it, I should be fine. And I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it. But yeah, this has been me. This is God giving me signs. God is good. Over and out. On to the outro. And God bless you. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to go check out some other videos that I have made, you're just one click on the channel icon away from doing so. If you want to find me on social media, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. They're listed right up. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share if you wish to do so. And if you are or will be a returning viewer, I will see you in the next video. Have an amazing day.